just quickly, I will give the overview that we will start with our national anthem, Indian and American national anthem, followed by corporate panel discussion. Then we have our Know Your Dignitaries, welcome address, award ceremony, and then we have a musical orchestra and vote of thanks. In today's program, we have our dignitaries here, which we share. So Honorable Lieutenant Governor Susan, and Vice Vic, and we have Honorable Indian Council General, we have State Representative, Mayor, and so we will go through and introduce our dignitaries. So first of all, as I mentioned that we would like to start the program, and for the national anthem, and in the national anthem, we will hear the today's national anthem for Indian and American national anthem will be presented by our Evan Hindi USA School. Evan Hindi is a non-profit volunteer organization established in February 2017, and this Evan Hindu USA was established by Mrs. Geetanjali Garg and Baswaraj Garg, and here we have the participant Ananya Garg, Ananya Saraswat, Anushka, Arini, Jai, Khushi, Mehak, Sumanyu, Bibyan, and Virti. So I'm going to stop sharing and now requesting Evan Hindi School to move on. So Raj ji, please go ahead. And you can.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Please rise yourself.
So now we'll start with the American national anthem. Mayank ji, please rise.
And please rise yourself to honor of our national anthem.
Namaste. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
Thank you so much. And I would like to request everybody to give a big round of applause to a wonderful performance by Avon Hindi USA. And this Avon Hindi USA, their parent organization is Hindi USA, which was established in year 2001 by Devin Singh, Rishta Singh, and Raj Mittal. So uh, since 2017 Connecticut, there are a lot of kids. There are various programs happening in this area. So thank you so much again, Avon Hindi USA, for joining us. And now we would like to go in the next segment of the program.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So in the next segment is the corporate panel discussion. And I would like to, Manoj, please.
Yep. Can you, Balaji, you around? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Can you guys hear me
So
okay?
yeah, we can hear you, Balaji. So thanks for joining us to celebrate this 72nd Indian Republic Day with the Milan Cultural Association. So we'll get this evening started with one of the most popular sections of this event, where we will discuss with the corporates, our proud sponsors, on various topics that that impact our community, our society. I would like to invite popular socialite and our patron, Bala Thiru, to get this session going. Bala.
Thanks, Manoj. Thanks, Hari. And it's an honor to be part of this event. Obviously, I've been a long association with the Milan in various capacity, and I'm also part of the board, advising them. So obviously, this particular section is it's pretty integral part of how it is really means to all of us, to the community, and in that space, obviously the corporate plays a huge role. So first of all, I like to thank all of the sponsors, the corporate sponsors who are participating here, and I'd like to thank them for the continued support. And this is very important. I know the sponsors are Accenture. I think the Accenture, I think represented by Raj Sheikh and Narayan, Infosys by Deb, V-Link by Rajneesh Das, Sun Life Yogesh Walwalkar, and Deloitte from Deloitte to Onjon Roy, More Labs Sandeep Wariku, CGI Rajesh Singh, and Aureus Analytics Anurag Shah. And I see some few new folks, and I thank you for joining this event. Now, sort of I want to set a context of, every single year we tend to pick what's more relevant and what's really, what's relevant and what's happening, impacting us as a community. And obviously what else we can talk about other than pandemic. But the pandemic, obviously from a obviously we were in a different spot in the last year, and now we're turning the curve, and we're positively, I think we are moving towards sort of getting out of the gate probably by the end of this year. So the whole topic here is really about post-pandemic. Obviously, every single machinery, government, private, profit, non-profits, World Health Organization, everybody's working towards how do we get out of this. So this particular topic is really, a little bit more path forward type discussions, right? So this topic is really reimagining the post-pandemic organization. Now, what I like to see, that the COVID-19 really jolted all of us, the leaders, organizations, everything, whatever we had. But I think amid this whole terrible human toll of pandemic, some organizations finding that by working differently, they can rise to the occasion and help their employees, customers, even their communities. While no one can predict when and how the pandemic will end, the lessons companies globally are learning as they organize for the future will give them clear advantages as the next formal takes when new normal takes place. So I think, one of the things I firmly believe, we kind of go through this journey. I think it's always true. The worst of the time brings out the best in people as it happens, right? I think we humans have such an indomitable spirit that we overcome. We struggle initially, but we overcome. So this is true for organizations. So all over the world, companies are being challenged by the COVID-19 crisis to find new ways to serve their customers. Okay, so I'm going to invite. There are like four different segments of this, dimensions of this organization that I like to get some inputs and perspective from these from the corporate sponsors, corporate folks who are represented by the leads. So one sort of what do you call the ground rule. We have about 15-20 minutes, about 20 minutes. So I like to keep, no interruption when I call out the gentleman. I think first, and whoever is coming to speak for their organization, introduce yourself, about your organization, just within 10-20 seconds, and then you can respond to my question. Okay, is that clear? Good, we're good to go. Thumbs up. I think I do a lot of Google Meet with the young kids, and they're like, "This is the way we gotta go. We gotta do a thumbs up, right?"
Everybody gave
So
the
I hope. Okay. All right. So first, I'd like to invite Accenture and Infosys. So obviously, this is the question is, we all talk about value creation, right? So for our customers, for our stakeholders, for our communities, for all around. So how would your organization reimagine value creation, right? Because I think, how would you reimagine value creation for your shareholders, customers, and employees? This is, this is a complex. You have all a lot of very complex processes and structures you have in place pre-pandemic. That it was a barrier, but now I think things are all changing. So I like to get some perspectives. So from Accenture, I'd like to invite Rajshekar Narayan, and then from Infosys, my friend Deb Day.
Raj, you want to go first?
Accenture, yeah, Deb. All right, I'll call out to Rajshekar to go out first.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
yes, you are.
Yeah, Rajshekar.
Excellent. Thank you. Good evening. Happy 72nd Republic Day once again to all of you. Bala, thank you for the insightful question. Talking about reimagining value creation. So, as we all know, there is a heavy challenge with the way the businesses has been interrupted and disrupted because of COVID-19. So our traditional structures which we had for value creation has been completely changed, and it has almost become obsolete by now. So what are the things that we can do now in order to build value and reimagine value creation in this post-pandemic world? Excellent question, Bala. For me, the challenges are two. One is short-term and the other one is long-term. The short term is how can we outmaneuver this pandemic, this today's uncertainty? That's a short term challenge. How can we even go faster than what the world is changing? And the long term challenge is how can you set up the business in such a way that you build up for success and recovery? That's a long term goal. Now, I want to give you two experiences. One is digital experience, and the second one is innovation. So let's see how the digital experience we can talk about value creation, right? So there was a recent survey that there was an 18% increase in e-commerce. Right? Different industries has been impacted differently, and e-commerce has thankfully has seen an increase. And in particular, there are 13 million Latin Americans who who did e-commerce or who bought an e-commerce for the very first time according to Visa cardholders. For us, that's a huge impact. So that's a short-term goal is now we have a new set of customers. How can we personalize the business for this new set of customers in the digital experience? That will be a short-term goal, right? The long-term goal is how about, for example, there is a business called Haywire. So there's this business called Hay Bracelet and Bond Touch. What they do is they will give you bracelets where a counterpart has a similar bracelet, and it'll vibrate or it'll squeeze your arms when your counterpart activates it. So
Yeah. Girishji, can you go on a mute, please? Yeah, that's another thing. Everybody, please go on a mute. Hari, can you mute?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, go ahead, Girishji.
No worries. Thank you. It's fun to have being the living home of so many people.
All kinds of interesting experience. Okay.
Okay. The long-term goal, the long-term digital experiences. Now we know how the digital experience is such a key in all our lives. Right? The long-term is how do you set up the businesses so the whole purpose of it changes. We all do Zoom meetings. We all do day-to-day connects. Now the digital experience has been a part and parcel of our life. How do we set up these businesses so for the long term, the whole purpose of this digital experience has changed? That's about digital experience. And I'll wrap it up with the innovation.
Yeah.
Now, we all know how the innovation has changed overall, right? Now, we are not waiting in order for the innovation to happen. This COVID has been a catalyst for innovation, right?
Yep.
Now, for example, General Motors or Tesla have started making ventilators. Louis Vuitton has started making hand sanitizers. So the question for all the enterprise, are you ready to change? If you are, and how fast can you change? Can you outmaneuver the speed in which the world is changing? If we can do this, then we can start recreating value.
Thank you, Rajshekar. I think, basically to sum it up, you sort of focus on the digital. I mean, everybody talks about digital and experience, so you leverage even more and much more naturally, and also bring in innovation. Thank you. So Deb, I'd like to get your perspective. If you can quickly introduce yourself, 10, 15 seconds, and then get your perspective.
Sure. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. Wish everyone a belated Happy Republic Day. On that previous comment, I think we all agree that the pace of digital acceleration has been hectic. Things that we all anticipated would take 8 years probably happen in 4 months, and everything that could go digital went digital. But I'd like to share my thoughts around reimagining value creation across a couple dimensions that I've been seeing. I think within enterprises, including ours, people have become very kinder. I think empathy has found a new meaning. We always have been a very client-centric firm with an extended family of Infocions that support that. But I have seen a lot of processes were reinvented or reoriented for these times that we live in right now. From an employee standpoint, workplace have taken a very different meaning. And, and one other big important piece is mental health has taken a very serious and different look. Enterprises were not talking about it, at least within our company. I would tell you that we haven't seen this surge of discussion on mental health programs, etc., to support that. So I think employees has been a big focus. From a shareholder standpoint, profit is no longer a bad word. And what I mean by that is when we are seeing enterprises deeply connect profits to purpose. And when you're doing that, I think enterprises are finding a new way to reposition themselves. Center of all of it is customers. So now we are connecting employees, shareholders, and customers, because in their success is ours. and finding a purpose that is authentic is very important. So at Infosys, sustainability and climate change are at the forefront of everything we are going to do going forward. And hence, just in closing, with the speed and agility that we saw in last 10 months, I think it's going to continue. And the value creation across employee, shareholders, and customers is going to continue to morph, is the best way to say it. And my
Sure.
two big takeaways for all of you is, we have to care about the employees in a very deep way, watch their mental health, and from an enterprise standpoint, find purpose with profit.
Yeah, no,
Those
I
are
agree.
my
Thank you, Deb. Yeah, thank you, Deb. I think, it's kind of everything is, the line is getting blurred. I think employees, everyone is kind of have a much better appreciation of the business value creation. It's all interconnected. I think it goes crisscross, top down, sideways, whether it's an employee, community, shareholders, and all that. So thank you. I appreciate. Thanks both of you, Raj and Deb, for your perspective. The next question is to Cognizant and V-Link. So obviously, how would we operate efficiently in post-pandemic? Again, I feel, I mean, I'm also a professional working in sort of solve some of these things. Is that there are three things that are emerging, whether it's a flatter, faster, non-hierarchical structures and the approach, and that kind of turbocharge the decision making. So those are the things comes to my mind. So I think in the interest of the time, we should probably wrap up quickly. And V-Link, I'd like to invite my friend Raj Das from Sun Life. I'd like to invite Yogesh. So first, V-Link, Raj, I'd like to go first.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Bala. So I think it's been pretty eye-opening for us to really differentiate between, I guess, non-essential part of performance versus essential part of performance.
Yeah.
Right? Having a building, going to office, having tea with people, talking to your boss, face to face. Those things are important, but they're not material to performance. What we have really done is extended the care separate from building, right? So we have a lot of ways of reaching out to our employees and talking to them, having virtual sessions. I actually enjoy a lot of them because now you see all of them wherever they are. We have Tambola games and whatnot. We also check in. Every manager is supposed to check in with their employees to see their mental health is fine and are they performing well, do they need help, right? So that part actually is pretty liberating because now that lets us have offices anywhere. It lets us operate from anywhere, and we really are focusing on more important things like integrating our different global centers to make it global IT centers. So we actually have gone the other way around. We have made it more hierarchical because we want to keep a structure. But that's a V-Link story. But I think it's really important to differentiate the two and focus on.
Raj, you may want to come close to the mic and talk. I think sometimes coming in and out.
I don't know if you guys heard it. Should I repeat it or kind of summarize?
No. We heard. I think it's no. You can sound. It's fine.
So I think that's the gist of what I wanted to share in terms of working from home or working virtually.
Okay.
It opens new markets. It opens new ways to work. That's
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So I mean, you're saying that there's a natural efficiencies happening across, and it's everything is. The technology and enabler now become, it's a very true, function of it. So I'd like to invite Yogesh from Sun Life.
Yeah, so I would actually carry on the point that Raja mentioned. It's like with the pandemic that caused this, whole trouble for us, it also created an opportunity. We have become more digital in our work environment. Sun Life is working in an agile work environment where it doesn't really matter where people really are. It's just about getting connected. So we started to use lots of Zoom meetings in order to get connected with the employees, having a one-on-one session on the Zoom to connect with the employees. The similar thing we did on our client as well, customers. Due to the pandemic, one-on-one interaction, personal interactions were not available. So Zoom has been really beneficial for interacting with the clients, and they also like the way that we interacted with them. Sun Life is actually a very employee-oriented company, and what Sun Life is doing is promoting more people to actually work from home and start to use office space more for an event or a collaboration meetings, something like that, where they want to get people together and have a meeting like that, instead of just having people to come into the office every day. So the flexibility is more towards working from home, allowing people to work from home, because what this crisis really taught us is we don't really need to be in office to be able to connect, but we need a forum to be able to connect with each other. So Sun Life actually really started with that. And just few more points that I would actually like to share is about what the Sun Life has been doing is pledging the flexibility. So now we work from home, and the problem is we have family members. Now kids come running through it, working from home, again, they study. So Sun Life created a flexible work schedule for employees that they can actually take care of their children and work accordingly. So that also created this nice environment. And lastly, I would actually like to mention about the paid family leave program that Sun Life has promoted. Along with the city, Connected is also launching the paid family leave program this year. So Sun Life is actually acting as a private member to actually promote this program as well, so that it gives a benefit for people who have to take a paid leave, to take care for their families and all. So it's really like this, like I said, this crisis has created an opportunity for us to be digitally connected, greater flexibility, and also some business opportunity as well, to keeping into the mind of the customer and the people personal life.
Okay. Thank you, Yogesh. I think both are very relevant points and perspective you guys gave. The next one is, this is for, the question is, how will you enable, learn, adapt, and change for your employees post-pandemic? This is obviously, it'll be different. The working world will be different post-pandemic. Companies will be different. Many of our people themselves will be different as a result of the experience during the crisis. So it changes, the expectations are different. So I'd like to invite Onjun Rai from Deloitte and Sandeep Warikoo from Mar Labs to give their perspective. So I'd like to invite Onjun first from Deloitte. Onjun?
Yeah, hi Bala, thank you. Hi everybody, nice to see many familiar faces. And Bala, thank you for pronouncing my name the way it is pronounced my native language. So
I know, I'm a half Bengali. I look like half Bengali, as I was told.
So coming, thank you. So I have with me Kalol, who is my close friend and colleague, whom many of you know. So I'll just take briefly, everybody touched upon the future of work, the way it is going to change, right? So a lot has been said and spoken and written about the future of work. But what the last 11, 12 months taught us, the definition of work has changed, right? For some of the healthcare workers, the definition of work has mean at times you are risking your own life. Whereas for some folks like us who are office goers, the definition of work has been, okay, taking a walk to your living room or coming to your office. But it has its own challenges, as everybody talked about, like challenges of working from home, taking care of your school-going kids. You have the cleaning lady is coming, the plumber is coming. You have to take care of all this stuff, and many of folks who have their elderly parents to take care of. So that has happened a lot, right? So in that case, the organizations, like everybody talked about, what their organizations have done. I think one thing, fortunately, all the organizations, and Deloitte being no different, has done is that they have given very, very high importance to human empathy. That is what is important. And how do we empower in future, being able to understand that every individual is different, right? And we talk about flexibility, but flexibility doesn't have any meaning if you don't provide choices and options, right? So one thing I think our firm has taken very seriously, and I'm sure everybody else is also doing that, is that how do you give choices to your employees or if your team members that, okay, it's up to you how you want to schedule your day, and give many options, right? Without impacting the business, of course, but then make sure that people are willing to take care of their personal stuff. They take care of tutoring their kids or making lunch or dinner for their elderly parents. And the most important thing, I think, where our firm has given a lot of stress, and I'm sure others are also doing, is that understand that the challenge is not been distributed equally. Like what works for me may or may not work for everybody else. So that is one thing enabling the team, the resource of the future. And the last thing, without belaboring, I will say, we know the future is going to be different, right? So how do we enable digital savviness? I think folks talked about the future where a lot of portions of the work will be done digitally. I mean, we'll bring in AI, automation. So how do you enable or make your team or make your, the workforce is more digitally savvy? They understand how to use the tools of the future or tools that are there today, and also to be able to understand the use of new technologies. We talked about automation, AI, and what the definition of work is going to change. So how do you make sure your workforce is upskilled or they're changing their skill? They're making sure that as we are embracing the future, we are ready to adapt to the change. I think those are the things I will say as a key takeaway. What our firm has laid importance to.
Sure. Thank you, Anjan. Sandeep.
Hi, Bala. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Many of them are close friends. So thank you for the opportunity. Quick one. I represent Mar Labs. I'm the senior VP for all the customer relationships we have here in US and outside. Mar Labs is a smaller outfit, about $150 million organization, but more focused on digital transformation and helping our customers to navigate the digital journey and the opportunities that it brings us. Great question about employees. See, for a smaller outfit which has a culture, I mean, how do we remotely imbibe that culture? How do we get our employees on board who are working remotely on the culture? How do we give them touch and feel? The opportunity we took as is, obviously, we can't be face-to-face with them. We can't be meeting in person, but not traveling gives them an opportunity to spend a lot of time with our employees, spend a lot of time with the colleagues and all that to bring that culture. Our leadership has always been passionate about two things. One is being humane, and other being passionate about technology. So that is the key part of our culture. And by working closely, by being close to our employees, has helped us understand the personal challenges or stay closer to employees, being there to help if there's a personal need. So that's what is close to our mantra, the way Mar Labs has been built in. So that has been the key use. We have been using the time with whatever gives us from the travel, being close to our employees.
Okay.
I think that is what I wanted to say. And thank you once again, Milan, for the opportunity. Happy New Year and happy 26th January. It's a pleasure to be with you all.
Thanks, Sandeep. I think, I'm already in my mind thinking the next Republic Day, we are going to have a topic on future of the workforce. Okay. Just, it's one of my pet, this is all leading to that. So the last question I have for the fourth question, this is for CGI and, Aureus. So obviously, what's your organization? Because everything has become very data rich. I think whoever has done well in the pandemic sort of situation, they had the vantage points of the absolute access to the data and information and things. So I'd like to get your perspective that I think Aureus, I think you guys are specialized in data. I think CGI is a pretty large firm. So I'd like to get your perspective. I'd like to invite CGI Raj, the friend, please, you speak first and give your perspective. I think we are running 5-6 minutes late. If we can wrap up quickly, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you, Bala. This is Raj Singh, and I represent CGI. I'm a vice president in Northeast operations of the company. Just to give you a breakdown, like a brief introduction about CGI, it's a large global outsourcing and consulting firm. About 78,000 employees. So before I answer this question, I just want you all to, I see 25 people on my screen, and let's go back to our childhood days when we were, and if we just think about like between the age of 0 to 10 years, how many pictures did we have of ourselves? I don't think we had even like more than 500, no matter like where we were, because at that time, we were so thoughtful about every picture. We were taking a moment and, posing for the memory. And now, if you just think about like how many pictures you have in the last 1 year, it's probably outnumbered, because if you look at your cell phone, everybody has like so many pictures of themselves. So the point I want to make is, over the last decade or so, one of the things which has caused this data problem and also an opportunity for organization is storage has become a lot cheaper. Over the years, basically, we have, like in the beginning, we were very thoughtful about putting our data wherever we were, because we only had we had to pay a large sum of money, but because it's now so accessible, everybody is like throwing data wherever. So this is a time for companies like CGI, who specializes as a consulting firm, to help our customers, in terms of having a better data strategy, more so building an enterprise data strategy where there is a single source of data. So, needless to say that as a firm, we have global capabilities around data analytics. We help customers draw that journey. I can go endless, but I just want to basically give a perspective that ultimately every decision we take in our life is based on data. And as a firm, we definitely are very focused in embracing this technology. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you. Appreciate the perspective. So Anurag, could you please give your perspective from your organization perspective?
Sure. Thanks, Balaji, and happy belated Republic Day to everyone. Appreciate the invitation. We are probably the newest, company around, and especially in Connecticut. We started in India, so not many people know us. We moved into Connecticut just last year. So thanks so much for that. We are an AI platform. By the way, I am Anurag, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Aureus. I moved to Connecticut as well with my family last year. 2019. Very quickly, to come to the question on the data, and Coursera, a lot of people would have heard during this pandemic, people have learned new courses on Coursera, and the founder of Coursera said, the future will be ruled by those, not those who have the best algorithm, but those who have the maximum data, right? So the value of data is really unimaginable. We've kind of launched a new platform. We work only with insurance industry, and we created a new product during the pandemic for agents. Agents traditionally have always relied on very personal connect and relationships with their customers. And they have kind of gone digital and adopted data. And they are doing it in a way that you cannot even imagine. So that's the kind of how fast some of these companies are adopting technology. I can go on about it, I'm sure, but in the interest of time, I'll leave it at that, and wish everyone once again, and thank you so much. Happy to be a part here.
Thanks, Anurag. I think welcome aboard. Welcome to Connecticut. I think there's obviously we'll connect offline and discuss whatever. But I think overall, if you look at it, there's organizations across from the inputs and perspective, these are all shifting towards more nimble, more data-driven, more turbocharged in decision-making, empathy. I mean, it's kind of actually for pandemic kind of pushed us into a little bit more real human aspect of what it is. So I thank all the corporate sponsors and your participation. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for all your valuable perspective and inputs. And I know some folks were pinging me for asking any questions. I'll leave it up to Hari Sharma. He's the boss, and we'll take one.
Thank you so much, Balaji, because we are running sort of late. So I think.
Okay, all right. So thank you, and I'll come back and join the next session.
Yes. So we would like to move on in our next segment of the program. And thank you so much for all the corporate sponsors, and Balaji for this panel discussion. So in the next segment, we have a kind of a formal that on behalf of Milan, and if someone is not speaking, please put your phone on mute. So I just wanted to give a quick that what is Milan, and then I would like to take a quick video. So here, in the Milan Cultural Association is a volunteer-driven non-profit association of people from India living in the United States. This is a community service organization celebrating the traditional art and culture of India with mainstream America and our Indian diaspora. Milan has various chapters and members across the United States of America. Based on these various activities, Milan believes in sharing and caring for American issues, community we live in, also support, collaborate, participate in all the Indian diaspora event to foster constructive partnership and interactive relationship with the underprivileged local community. Now, I would like to take, because Milan, we have a program throughout the year, and in a year, the program starts with our Indian Republic Day, happens usually late January or February. So I wanted to quick short video to give a glance of overview in 2020 that we started some program which we have done in person. After that, we all know that because of the pandemic, we did some activities. So I'm going to share the video and then we will move on to introduce our dignitaries. All right. So I hope some of you may remember and recall this. This was in person at Capitol Building. We are looking forward again to go back and resume normally. Hope you are able to recall those moments. We have our honorary MC. And now in this program, because we are very happy and honored that we have Honorable Council from New York, so we will certainly want to resume this program because Milan has done OCI visa, those programs here. So we are hoping that once they will come back to the normal life, resume these. This is a program in Milan. We have started the free mask and sanitizer drive, and late April this started and continued in November. We have distributed 16,000 mask sanitizers across all these different towns, and we are happy. You will see in the few pictures that we got the great support, volunteer support from all the organization in connected. We have many young volunteers. Different association. We did some virtual program as well. And there are some which we missed in 2020, so we just wanted to share that. Some of you able to recall these moments. We are hoping this is a yoga day, Milan's yoga day, stand-up comedy, but these are the program we missed in 2020. This is a council-led tourist program with the New York council team, and we did some program from Bollywood, Hollywood. So thank you so much. Now we would like to move our next segment of the program. And I would like to request Suresh Sharma ji, chairman of the Milan organization. And Sharma ji, can you please mute on the left-hand side? So please unmute yourself because we are not able to hear you, and then you can proceed to introduce our dignitaries. Suresh Sharma ji. In the left-hand side, please unmute yourself. Sharma ji, are you able to? In the left-hand side bottom, you can unmute. Can you please, in the left-hand side, you will see the button mute. Can you please press? Yes, we are able to hear you.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
please go ahead.
We can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Harry. For the last 3 weeks, I have been just thinking about one question. And that question is, that we, the Indian community, live here, make our living here, raise our children here, and we consider ourselves as part of the mainstream. As a minority group of productive citizens, we have a mission to share and care in the social, civic, economic, and political issues of America, and in particular, Connecticut. We have a great potential in resources in our youth. Today, my request is to our leaders, those who are with us this evening, to share their thoughts, how best these resources be used towards the strength of Connecticut. I would like to go and request our first speaker and our host also, our most esteemed leader, Consul General of India, Ambassador Randeep Jaiswal, who has 2 decades of diplomatic experience in serving Portugal, South Africa, Permanent Mission of India, New York, and a Joint Secretary, having a lot of experience in West European countries. With his experience with the civic, social, economic, and political environment of those countries, he has a wide vision for the Indian community to share its potential in contributing towards the strength of America. Since there is a very strong and friendly bilateral relationship between India and America, he is looking forward in building strong bridges of friendly relationships with Connecticut and India, thereby exploring business opportunities for mutual benefit. I request my Honorable Consul General, to share your thoughts, please, with us.
Thank you for your gracious invitation, Mr. Sharma, and thank you to Milan, USA for inviting me to this very special celebration of India's Republic Day. Lieutenant Governor of Connecticut, Honorable Madam Susan Bai Ciesvis, Honorable Mayor of Hartford, Mr. Luke Bronin, Honorable Representative Mr. Harry Arora, respected representatives, leaders, esteemed friends. I'm delighted to attend this very special ceremony, this special event to mark India's Republic Day, which we celebrated on 26th January. My warmest wishes to all of you on the occasion of our Republic Day. I'm so happy to learn of all the good work, the community work that you are doing to bring peace and prosperity in the community, in the neighborhood, and among the people in Connecticut, and building bonds of friendship between India and Connecticut. I was also delighted, I must tell you, the way you positioned your logo, our heritage, where the Indian flag was, and our country, where the American flag was. That is the spirit of the Indian American community. You are a living bridge between the country of adoption and the country of your culture and heritage. National Day is a time when we look back at us. Any country looks back at its successes and takes stock of its aspirations going into the future. It is also a time to recall our shared democratic values. In our case, Republic Day is a celebration of India's Constitution. When we talk of India's Constitution, you talk of the commonalities that we share as two democracies, the largest democracy in the world and the oldest democracy in the world. And also the commonality that exists between our Constitution and the American Bill of Rights. Those cherished values that we adopted, borrowed from the American Bill of Rights, of equality, of fraternity, of justice, of togetherness. Republic Day is also a celebration, I would say, especially when we are celebrating it here in the United States, of our shared journey, of our shared political trajectories, and of our shared heritage. From Mahatma Gandhi to the civil rights movement led by Martin Luther King, and onwards to the values, principles, and contribution of leaders like John Lewis. India and the United States and the world together, as one, we are working to push back the pandemic. We've had some successes on vaccination, for example. US has begun vaccination. India has begun vaccination, and so have several countries. What is of greater satisfaction to us in India, that while we are vaccinating our own people, we are also sharing our resources with countries at large. As a gesture of a goodwill and friendship, we have sent vaccines to countries in our neighborhood, from Bangladesh, Bhutan, to Seychelles, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, several countries in Latin America, in Africa, and elsewhere. The list is growing. It is of deep satisfaction to us that we are caring for our people and we are caring for the world. We are caring for the humanity. When we talk of India-US relations, an important pillar and segment of that is health cooperation, cooperation in pharmaceuticals. This will be a very strong agenda for us as we engage the new administration in this country. We've also undertaken transformative reforms in the fields of taxation, economy, farming sector. These will give a boost to our jobs, to growth, and bring prosperity to people in both countries. I say both countries because United States is a very important partner, and Connecticut is a very important economic and technological partner for us. Startups, for innovation, for the fourth digital revolution, for the space sector, for the defense sector, for the IT sector. And we seek the support of, we have esteemed leaders here, your support, madam, and of other leaders here to build a stronger India-US economic partnership, digital partnership, space partnership, defense partnership. Today, let me take this opportunity to also celebrate and rejoice in the achievements and successes of the Indian American community in Connecticut, which has done so much to bring our two countries together. We are proud of you. What has really made me happy today, that prior to this engagement, we had a session on innovation, artificial intelligence, robotics, data science. That is the language of India today. That is the message of India today to the world. We want to grow together. We want to combat climate change together, and we want to deal with larger issues of the world, from geopolitics to the Indo-Pacific. Long live America, long live India. Happy Republic Day to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our Consul General. And now, I would like to request our Honorable Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bakovich. She's an American politician who is the 109th, Lieutenant Governor of Connecticut, serving since January 9, 2019. She previously served as the 72nd Secretary of the State of Connecticut from 1999 and to 2011. As Lieutenant Governor, she has many challenging responsibilities, which she has accepted as opportunities and successfully managed. Containing, issues like combating opioids, addiction, and overdoses. Her role in the state opioid, crisis and increasing societal tendencies is helping the community to bend, the curve. As a member of the Connecticut Complete, Count Committee of the Census 2020, I saw her untiring efforts that ensured a full count Connecticut. Ladies and gentlemen, besides her successful political career, her unconditional compassion to help others and passion to work with communities has endeared her as a very warm and affectionate person who cares. Let me share with you that we are very lucky community to have her as our community friend, who has opened her doors for us whenever we need her help. Honorable Lieutenant Governor, we assure you, we the Indian community will always be with you and work with you and seek your guidance to build our Connecticut to this old glory. Please, we are anxiously looking for your message for us.
Oh my goodness, Suresh, thank you so much for that very kind introduction. And Mr. Consul General, thank you so much for joining us. And the state of Connecticut is looking forward to a very a robust and vibrant mutual economic partnership, and to all of the very distinguished political leaders, professionals, engineers, doctors, successful business people. I am looking at this array of people who truly represent the best in Connecticut and the best of their professions. It's just such an honor to be with you and to celebrate really one of the most significant days in the history of India, Republic Day, the day in which the Constitution of India came into effect in 1950, and when India truly became a sovereign state. And thank you, Suresh and Milan Cultural Association for hosting this event every year. And I can't wait till you can come back to the Capitol and we can see each other in person and see some wonderful cultural displays and dances, hear the music, and smell the delicious food in our state capitol. But I'm still very grateful, even though I miss that, to celebrate with you virtually, because I think it's really important that we take a moment to acknowledge how ethnic and cultural organizations like yours play a really important role in our residents' lives and show us how we should celebrate our differences and to celebrate our diversity. And that's why Connecticut is such a great state, because we embrace people from all backgrounds and traditions, religions, races, and we know that our state's strength is in its diversity. And today we have the opportunity to reflect upon Indian culture and history. And I just have to say that I have always admired India, because the country of India has done something that we have not yet done in our own country, and that is you have elected a woman to lead India. Indira Gandhi was India's first prime minister. Prime Minister Gandhi was a trailblazer, not just for Indian women, but for women all over the globe. And she was someone who gained popularity for introducing successful programs that help to transform and improve your country, the country of India. And she's led the way for other women to dream big and to succeed in government. So this year, we're very happy to celebrate another shattered glass ceiling that hopefully will get our country closer to electing a female president. On January 20th, Kamala Harris, the first Black and South Asian woman, was sworn in as our 49th vice president. And her inauguration was just such a significant event, showing young girls that if someone who looks like them can be elected by a nation to create real change, then they too can achieve their dreams. So let's make sure that this milestone occasion is not confined to just one day in history, and that we continue to blaze trails together. And I wanted to end with two quotes. I was going to just end with this quote from Kamala Harris, which I think is really terrific. And it's this: our unity is our strength, and our diversity is our power. So I think that is a powerful statement about how we're going to get through this pandemic and how we are going to succeed as a state and a country. And we're going to succeed because we will work together to defeat the pandemic, and by embracing one another and our diversity, we will be stronger together. And Mr. Counsel General, since you mentioned John Lewis, the famous civil rights leader, who has been such a force for equality in our country, I can't help but add this one from him to close. And he said this, that I believe race is too heavy a burden to carry into the 20th century. It's time to lay it down. We all came here in different ships, but we are all in the same boat. So thank you so much, Suresh, for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to celebrating in person next year.
Thank you very much. Our Lieutenant Governor, Susan Bhagwit, and you have been a very big support to the community, and we are really honored to have you as our Lieutenant Governor. Thanks. Now, our third speaker will be our City of Hartford Mayor, Luke Brannan. I hope.
I saw. No, actually, I saw him.
Yes, I'm on to that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Look, I like your.
Yeah, in case sometimes it happens, you know, but yeah, if he may join it later on.
No, I'm here, Suresh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are
Oh,
here.
here he is.
Yeah.
He's with us, yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Luke is always with us. Thank you so much for joining.
You know, our City of Hartford Mayor, Luke Brannan, has a great passion to outreach the communities. Minority groups or bigger are the same, you know, for him. It's very much obvious with one incident when he is sure to arrange a drive for those 75 or older, those who can't drive, you know, to get COVID vaccine. His offer was a free ride to them. His warm-hearted, friendly approach for the Indian communities in opening businesses, gracing and helping us also to conduct our functions in Hartford, especially the incredible endeavor to raise funds for the benefit of needy children of Hartford Camp Current, allowing us to do International Yoga Day in front of the City Hall, and even meeting with our Consul General of India for exploring, you know, the business possibilities last year. Honorable Mayor Brannan, please do let us know and guide us if we can do anything, especially during the pandemic times. I request you to please share your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suresh, and thank you to all of the Milan leadership and to everyone who's here tonight, and Consul General. It's an honor to meet you virtually, and look forward to meeting in person when such things are possible. And also look forward to returning to celebrate Republic Day in person. As Lieutenant Governor said, it is always such a beautiful night with dance and delicious food and fellowship, and we miss it. I miss it, and hope that we can be together again soon. Maybe by Independence Day tomorrow, we'll be able to all be together and celebrating the way we'd like to. But I'll be brief, but I think that many of you know that the relationship between India and the United States is an important one to me personally. I've lived in India. I have a deep affection for India, and as every American should, a deep recognition of the fact that our countries share so much in common. And this day, when we celebrate the Indian Constitution, recognizing that our founding documents share so much in common in their aspirations for freedom of religion, for equality under the law, for the outlawing of discrimination, those founding principles that both here in America and India, it's our responsibility constantly to work to reflect more perfectly in our countries, but which reflects such an important commitment that can help lead the world. And of course, those foundations in a written constitution, in those principles, are more important now than ever. And our countries share not just a common democratic process and a common commitment to equality, but we also share some common challenges internationally. And as we move forward in this 21st century, as China rises, I think that the relationship between India and America will be even more important than it has ever been. And the relationship between the American people and the Indian people will be more important than it's ever been. And partly for that reason, but also partly because of the enormous contributions that our Indian community and Indian American community has made here in Connecticut, and specifically here in the Hartford region and in Hartford. You know, it gives me great pleasure that we have such a large and vibrant and growing Indian American community right here. And Milan has been such an important part of organizing and invigorating and leading that community, be a voice for that community. And as we saw in that presentation, continues to do so much even through this pandemic to provide public service to community here in Hartford and beyond in the greater Hartford region. So again, it's a great pleasure to be with you. I wish that we were in person. I look forward to being in person again soon. In the meantime, to you and all your families, thank you for what you do for our city and our region and our state. Let's continue to work to deepen that relationship and work closely together. And in the meantime, stay healthy, stay safe. God bless, and namaste.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Mayor
Mayor
Brannan, and we will be always, you know, whenever there is a call from you, you will see, you know, our community there too. Thanks a lot, and we appreciate your help. Now we are looking for our House Majority Leader, Jason Rojas.
Hey, Suresh, how are you? I'm here. Jason's
There
here.
he is.
I'm here.
Thank you very much.
I always make sure I make it because you call me relentlessly to make sure that I'm here.
Thanks. You know, for Rep. Jason Rojas, since 2010, he's a longtime friend of Indian community and a host, mark my word, host, along with then our representative, Bureau State Representative Dr. Prasad Srinivasan, along with Milan, we were sending invitations to the dignitaries to grace the Republic Day of India. And it is Jason Rojas, you know, name, which has touched many Indian hearts. The art of living based on how to balance work, family, and public service with a positive attitude can be learned, you know, from our Jason Rojas. Very contented, always smiling, ready to help. His helping others, you know, attitude has endeared him to that extent that he is today Connecticut House Majority Leader. Congratulations, Rep. Jason Rojas, and we welcome you. And we want to have some, you know, message from you which should be motivational for everyone.
Well, I will certainly do my best, Suresh, and it's great, always great to see you. You know, back when in my first term in office, you were one of the first people to reach out to me to get me involved in this wonderful celebration, right, in acknowledging Republic Day in India. And it wasn't something I knew about at the time, and I never really had the chance to eat Indian food. And you, over the years, have taken me out to restaurants as well. So our relationship is now, 11 years old, and it's quite amazing. I'm glad that we've been able to maintain it. And I want to say hello to my good friend Prasad Srinivasan. I haven't seen him in a number of years since he left office, but we always had a great working relationship, and so nice to see him and his wife. Absolutely. No, and thank you, everybody. Council General, I think your words really captured, I think, the special relationship that all of you have here in the United States. This is your community, and you've embraced the opportunity to come here in the United States and settle your lives and continue your professional activities, and you've contributed through civic engagement as well. I know, Mayor Bronin was talking about the Indian population, perhaps in Hartford or west of the river. I know how significant the Indian population is east of the river. In East Hartford, and particularly in Manchester, I know I have a number of constituents. It's a growing population, and it's always growing when you see grocery stores popping up that specifically serve the Indian community. And the area around Spencer Street now has a food mart. There's a restaurant that's now there, and there's a regular presence of Indian Americans in there all the time when I'm going to get my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, of course. I'm just really grateful to be here. It's funny, I was sitting on my couch just before jumping on the Zoom talking with my wife, and we were both talking about what are we going to eat for dinner, because we hadn't eaten dinner yet. And immediately I said, I wish I was in person at the Indian Republic Day at the Capitol so that I could eat some delicious food. And it got me thinking about wanting to order some Indian food. So I certainly will be doing that. But, it's really great. I was really interested in the conversation you were having about the future of work. Obviously, I think it's top of mind for all of us after what we've gone through for the last year. As outside of politics, I work at Trinity College in Hartford, and it's been incredibly fascinating to operate a college during a pandemic and how we've had to implement technology. And when you have a college that's almost 200 years old, we're used to doing things the way we've always done it. Learning online was not something that I think our faculty were particularly fond of. I think they really value the classroom experience that they provide with students. And certainly, 4 or 5 years ago, it's interesting, everyone thought massive open online courses were going to be kind of the death knell of traditional higher education in the way that residential higher education in the way Trinity provides it. And, we've learned that our students now, after a year of learning on Zoom, they really want to be back in the classroom, right, and learning in person with our students. So there's going to be an interesting balance between the role of technology and what technology, the role it's played in our lives over the last year, and how I think we've heard it a number of times this evening even, that very much how much human contact, how important it is to all of us as human beings, and being able to have personal contacts with individuals. So it'll be an interesting balance as we look to the future, as we continue to respond to the pandemic and overcome the pandemic, as vaccines continue to roll out, and we bring our communities back to health as a community together. And I know all of you have played a really important role in that, and I'm sure you'll continue to play a role going into the future. And I'm just, again, grateful to be here with all of you. And I think, like everybody has said, I'm looking forward to a year from now being hopefully in the atrium of the LOB, enjoying all the traditional dances, the amazing clothing that we would see, the bright and vibrant clothing. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm looking forward to eating some of the food again too. So thank you so much, and look forward to the rest of the program.
Thank you, Roha. You have always, been a source of inspiration for us. And we wish you, all the best in your new assignment. Now we have our state representative Harry Arora, who came out as a champion based on, humanitarian ground, I'll say, for recommending 3 sickness priorities in Connecticut vaccination strategies to save more lives over pandemic fight. Number 1, seniors above 70 and 75 above, immune compromised, patients and pregnant women. And the other one, 20 to 65 with comorbidities. Really, it's a very touching points which he has recommended, for the vaccination strategy. He has another, a viable thought to get almost same amount of tolls dollar by privatization of the parking lots in the state. Looks like it's a very interesting, idea, and could be, look into for the discussions, Also, he is an advocate of young people to accept challenges and explore possibilities as entrepreneur, and an entrepreneur himself. He is very much sought after as a mentor for young generations seeking guidance on ins and outs of entrepreneurship and public service. We are very much keeping lots of hopes that he gives more challenge, taking people for Connecticut prosperity and to gain the best place to do business and earn their own glory as the #1 prosperous state in America by his teaching, the youngsters how to be more good entrepreneur or in public service. Your message, please.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you so much. Respected Lieutenant Governor, Consul General Jasper, Majority Leader Rojas, Mayor Brannan, all our dignitaries, and my dear friends. First of all, thank you. Such a heartfelt thanks to Sureshji and to Milan and to all the leadership and everyone for organizing this beautiful event. It's such a joy and honor to celebrate the Republic Day. It reminds me always about the parallels, as just was mentioned. The Constitution of our country here has been such a shining light, and the document which has made possible such greatness in this country. And similarly, the Constitution in India has put forward such great ideas and has been defining for the country of India for so many years. Just as Mayor Brannan said, in terms of equality, in terms of bringing people together and progress. Now, it is such a joy and honor for me, as an Indian American, always to celebrate, to share, to enjoy our culture, our traditions, our history. And that's really what makes this country so powerful, as while we are Americans, we still have such amount of joy and ability to share, to grow, with our heritage. Now, thank you, Sureshji, for pointing out, there are some very exciting ideas which have been put forward in the legislature, and I'm looking forward to working on those. And I thank our administration for prioritizing our seniors, because that was something we worked out with numbers. As Indians, we are very data oriented. That would save a whole lot of lives if we went descending order of age, which is being done. And right now, we're definitely focused on also making sure that there's more equity by providing the vaccine priority to those who have serious medical conditions, whether it be organ transplants or whether it be immunocompromised because of cancer or the other serious medical situations, and we got to really focus on that. But keeping that aside, as we continue to work on them, I today want to focus on the fact that we celebrate while we are fighting this adversity. And this is just makes us stronger, makes us richer, and makes us more grittier. And I so much appreciate that today we're doing it online, and hopefully next year we're going to be doing it the same way we have always done before. I grew up in India as a student and came here as a student. So for me, the Indian Republic Day was always getting up, and watching the parade, and singing some songs, all on TV though, right? And many of you would kind of, have the same feelings that it evokes, how it's celebrated traditionally. And so I'll end with, a song which always plays in my mind when I think about the Republic Day, right? I think most of it's in Hindi, but I'm sure most of you have heard it, sung it, and sing along if you will. And I'll sing a couple of verses. So please indulge with me if my rendition may not be the best.
You should have told us before. We would have invited you to sing a full song.
No, perhaps not. Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara, sare jahan se acha.
Beautiful.
हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी ये गुलिस्तां हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा पर्वत जो सबसे ऊंचा वो साया आसमां का पर्वत जो सबसे ऊंचा वो साया आसमां का वो संतरी हमारा वो पासवा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना हिंदी है हम वतन है ये गुलिस्तां हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा. Well, I know it's not the best rendition you would have heard, but it gives me great pleasure.
Harry, I missed your call. You should have pursued a singing career.
I always tell Sureshji my best friendship with him is based on the fact that I get to call him and speak Punjabi, because I never get to speak Punjabi anymore, and Hindi as well, because my kids speak Hindi, my wife English all the time, and I speak English 99% of the time. So it gives me great pleasure to celebrate our culture, our traditions. Thank you for having me, and God bless everybody in this room. God bless Connecticut. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have
no
really, next time.
Very appropriate, for our Republic Day, celebration. It is really the way you narrated it. It's wonderful. Thank you.
That was a great surprise, Harry. Hats off to you.
But remember, you are a big hope for the community, and you're gonna help, in those, youth potential. Thanks a lot,
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
And
I
now,
enjoy this.
I have a person, a household name in Indian community of Connecticut. The first Indian to break the barrier of Indian shyness to stay away from public service, who entered into the public service with the name Dr. Prasad Srinivasan, a first Indian and four terms Connecticut State Representative, and getting the fourth term as unopposed. He even joined the race for Connecticut governor in 2018. Besides that, He is a philanthropist with a foundation to help the students and a generous donation of $100,000 to Hartford Hospital's Center for Education, Simulation and Innovation for the purchase of technology and equipment. He is a role model for the community, encouraging them as a productive citizen to use their potential to contribute towards the strength of Connecticut in all aspects. It's my pleasure requesting Dr. Prasad Srinivasan to share his thoughts for us.
Thank you very much, Suresh, for inviting me. And it is a pleasure to be on the panel with the other dignitaries, and Bala for putting together this wonderful panel prior to us getting on. Today, as we celebrate India's Republic Day, we'll think of India's constitution based on the constitution of our country, the Bill of Rights. It is at this moment that all of us need to pause and reflect how delicate that democracy is, how we can never take independence and democracy, our constitution, as something granted. Exactly a month ago, we all know what happened on January 6th. Our democracy, our constitution was attacked. And it is important for us as we celebrate this beautiful day for India and for us here in this country to realize that democracy and constitution can never, ever be taken for granted. We will fight, we will continue to fight, rightfully so, to make sure that what we have as a birthright continues to be for generations and generations to come. It is indeed a sad thought of what happened to our nation just exactly a month ago today, and makes us reinforced in uniting and our diversity coming together for a better tomorrow, both for this country and the world at large. Another thing we need to pause and reflect today, a lot of discussion has happened on the pandemic and the post-pandemic, the subject of today's discussion. Today marks the first day, the very first day a year ago, we had the first death secondary to COVID in our nation. And now you see the count. Today, we are ahead of 416,000 lives lost in our nation alone. Somber thoughts on this wonderful day, but reinforces our energy, in terms of our constitution, our democracy, and also how we need to make sure that the pandemic is something that is going to be behind us. And for that, we all need to be careful, whether it be the multiple steps that we know, simple public health things. And as a physician, I want to take this opportunity to reinstate what we all know and should be doing: the safe distance, the masks, and of course, when the opportunity arises to get the vaccination. And I thank my colleague, Representative Arora, for his wonderful work in making sure that we go down the age group and start the vaccinations for the most vulnerable in our society. Suresh, you asked a very pertinent question when you began this conversation with us about the role that all of us have in making sure that we pass the baton on to the youth and generations to come. I'm very happy, I'm very proud that I have passed on the baton to Harry Arora. And so now it becomes his job to make sure that the baton is passed over to our generations ahead. On a serious note, as we heard Susan Bysiewicz, our Lieutenant Governor, comment, and rightfully so, glass ceilings have been shattered. We know what happened in Washington, D.C., and we have our first vice president from our background there in D.C. Dr. Murthy is back as a Surgeon General. As you remember, he served under the Obama administration, and now he serves under the Biden administration as well. and in multiple very important administrative posts, both at DC and across the state. We have our people from our Indian American background holding important positions. Not too long ago, Representative Arora and I were on a panel discussion where we were given a list of the Indian American elected officials across the nation, and we are an impressive list. So Suresh, going back to your scorecard of how are we doing as a community, we are extremely healthy. Glad to report to you, and I hope I'll be able to do this with my good friend Harry Arora as the years go by, on the strength of our Indian community. Once upon a time, and I'm glad to say it, once upon a time, we used to think that Indian Americans were only physicians, were only lawyers, scientists, professors at various universities. And now look, our presence is felt in the entertainment industry. Our presence is felt in the cuisines across the country and across the globe. So we are marching on, showing where we are present, not only in limited areas. I'm extremely happy that our presence has been felt in the political world, and we are making progress. We definitely need to work together and encourage and be the mentors so that these batons, whether it be Connecticut or other parts of our country, continue, and our Indian American friends, our colleagues, are all represented not only in the professional world, but in the political world as well. In Connecticut, if you remember, Suresh, there is this organization called the Indian American Action Group. And we were glad to be participating in the conversation with them through the video format once again, just a short time ago. And the whole purpose was, how can we, the people who have served and of course will continue to serve, be role models for the next generation and generations to come. So work is already being done in that particular field, Suresh. So that's a happy thing to report to you. And remember, we all know God helps those who help themselves. So we need to help ourselves so that we are in position. We need to be at the table to make the difference. And we're already doing that now in 2021. And I assure you that in the years ahead, there will be more and more of us, both at the state level and at the nation at large. Jai Hind, God bless America.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prasad. And really, we always look toward you for your advice, and you're always be for us. Thank you very much for your participation this evening.
Thank you, Sharma ji. And thank you so much, all our dignitaries. We are honored to have in this program, but now we would like to move in the next agenda. And in Milan, every year, we honor our community leaders who has gone extra mile and helped energetic. So in 2020 pandemic, I would like to quickly share, and then I'm requesting Suresh Sharma ji. So we have our honorary Jayesh Patel ji, I think most of you know, and Paul Chelani. So I would like to request Sharma ji to please invite our honorary, and then we can move.
It is an ExxonMobil and Circle K franchisee, providing more than 70 jobs, is a president of a vibrant Indian regional association known as Gujarati Association of Connecticut, which significantly contributes towards the welfare of the community. As an Indian community leader, his contribution in terms of giving his time, sharing his experience, and his generous financial help has benefited many organizations to pursue their mission successfully. He is known for his passion to serve the hungry people. Ladies and gentlemen, let us invite Jayesh Patel as Milan's man of the community 2021. Jayesh Patel.
Jayesh ji.
Hello.
Yeah, we are able to hear you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sharma ji. Thank you very much, Milan Association, for doing all the way best community work in leadership of Sharma ji. During this pandemic time, it's very important we all come together to help our community and work together. I would not be able to do this event and this without support of my community, my family, my friends. And again, I look forward to helping great state of Connecticut in any way I can. I love USA. I love my India. God bless America. God bless Connecticut. God bless India. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jayesh. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Jayesh ji.
Our For this gentleman, I will say that there is a phrase that getting divine happiness in giving. Really, this phrase is personified when a gentleman conducts a blood drive with 120 donors during COVID-19, in Long Island. When he serves food to the struggling people to put food on the tables, when distributing face masks and sanitizers to 2,000 people in the month of May 2020, when masks and sanitizers were almost impossible to find in the market. He is a person who will develop a business, and when it is all set and is profitable, then giving it to his own employees. I'm really filled with pride to present Paul Chelani as our Milan's Man of Community 2021. Paul G.
Paul ji.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks, Milan, for your kind consideration. It is a matter of great pleasure when your own community recognizing you. I feel lucky and honored in receiving this honor. My request to my community people is a part of the mainstream to use your resources to help the struggling people, whatever way you can be in this pandemic situation. I would like to especially thank to Santaramkari Mission, which has taught me that is serving to the mankind to worship to God. The mission is a goal to universal brotherhood and is always ready to help community whenever is needed. Thank you very much and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much and all the best.
Thank you, Sharma ji. And thank you so much, Jayesh ji and Paul ji. Now we are moving to the next segment of the program. So this program was started several weeks before.
Yeah,
we have done some of the competition on earlier. So now I would like to request Manoj to please go ahead and share the competition award.
Thank you, Hari. Could you please present the slides, Hari, so that kids can see? So in order to inspire our kids who are growing up in US to continue to get inspired by their heritage and origin in India, we organized a couple of competitions. One is on speech themes around India and its cultural heritage. So we had the competitions in two groups. In group one, the first prize goes to Nishil, second prize goes to Vaishnavi, and third prize goes to Akshita.
Yay.
So well done, kids. Well done. Good. Thanks to you and
Akshita is my student. Wow.
And thanks to the parents as well for encouraging the kids. It took an effort to organize these competitions online. and I'm thankful to the kids as well as their parents. Similarly, in the second group, which is slightly older kids, the first prize goes to Neil, and the second prize goes to Ahan, and the third prize goes to Mihika. Yay!
Yay. And thank you so much for judges also for helping out us, because this was really a very tough competition. And this, so now we are
All the kids did a great job. They came prepared, and we are really proud of the kids, and also the kids that did not win a prize but still did an awesome job. Similarly, we organized another competition, painting, which is a theme-based, similar themes around India and its cultural heritage. In the younger group, the first prize goes to Ishan, second prize goes to Akshita, and third prize goes to Gargi. We couldn't get her picture, but Gargi, if you're here and listening to us, to all of you, a big thumbs up. And the second group, which is for older kids, the first prize goes to Ahan, second goes to Mihika, and third prize goes to Nitya. Good job, kids. Again, I would like to thank the kids as well as the parents for taking this effort, coming prepared, and encouraging the kids to participate in themes that are around Indian culture and heritage. So, Hari, I give it back to you. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Manoj and Tom, for putting together this, working with the registration, and this was a lengthy process, and because of this during the pandemic time, but we are able to make it successful. And thanks all the participants, their parents, and judges. Now we are moving to the next segment of the program. We all are evident that in capital building, any Indian program is not concluded without Khan, Pan, and Gan. But somehow Khan and Pan is not, because we are missing because of the pandemic. But definitely this was a possible that we can make some Gan. So now we are moving to the next segment, and I would like to request our own Bala Tiruji to take us, and hopefully that will create the different energy. And the Bala.
Sure. Thank you, Hari, and it's very exciting to see the kids are really, I just can't tell how much I get so happy to see the kids' participation and in all this. Anyway, so like Hari said, India is a musically rich country, and obviously we want to sort of, have a peek into bring in the theme and the spirit of this event. So obviously people think of Bollywood and things, but this is somewhat a little bit different. But I like to, we have about 15 minutes to just a short program, and I'm going to invite Mihika Joshi. I think I saw her in a couple of awards and things. She was such a great kid who's got a multi-talented, and she volunteers in our community events, and and she was also in the whole distribution of face masks and hand sanitizers in different towns. And she actually raised a lot of money in $1,500 to mark the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi last year. But anyway, so I think she also has got she got recognized by the president with a gold medal for her volunteer service. But above all this stuff, what she does, she actually a flutist. So she's going to entertain us by rendering Vande Mataram to us by flute. So Mihika, please go ahead and set up and start. Thank you. Mihika, are you there? Is she there, Hari?
Mika, are you there?
She is there, but we can't hear her.
Okay. Mika?
Mika?
Mika, we are not able to hear you. Okay. Okay, if not, Balaji, without any...
We'll come back to her a little
yes,
later.
I think we can move on to the next segment of the program.
So Kalaji, if you're there, and Kalaji, you need no introduction to this community, and she's such an accomplished, musician, and who has helped so many kids, and sort of growing this culture, the music among young and upcoming talent. And she's a teacher, she's a mother, she's another multifaceted person, who I think I would say Prasad's success. There's a success of man. There's someone, so, this is a man, women behind his success. So I'll ask her to sing a song, and this is something very. It's sort of an invocation, and I'd like to invite her to sing a song. Kalaji. Is Kala there? No? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. Now I can.
Thank you for the introduction, Bala.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a teacher and a wife. More importantly, the present role of the grandmother, I enjoy so much. I wanted to mention that.
Of course.
So, Malik, ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ऐसे हो हमारे करम नेकी पर चले और बड़ी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हम बड़ा कमजोर है आदमी अभी लाखों में इसमें कमी पर तू जो खड़ा है दयालु बड़ा तेरी कृपा से धरती तमीम दिया तूने हमें जब जन्म तू ही झेलेगा हम सब के गम नेकी पर चले और बड़ी से टले ताकि
I'm leaving.
निकले गम ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ये अंधेरा घना छारा तेरा इंसान घबरा रहा हो रहा बेखबर कुछ न आता नजर सुखा सूरज छुपा जा रहा है तेरी रोशनी में जो दम तू अमावस को कर दे पूनम नेकी पर चले और बड़ी से टले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम मालिक तेरे बंदे हम जब जुल्मों का हो सामना तब तू ही हमें थामना वो बुराई करे हम भलाई भरे नहीं बदले की हो कामना बढ़ उठे प्यार का हर कदम और मिटे बैर का ये भरम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले, ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम। ये मालिक तेरे, ये मालिक तेरे, ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हम, ये मालिक तेरे बंदे हम।
Very nice, Kala. I think the one note about Kala, she doesn't speak the language of Hindi, and she's learning. She is really doing a great job in bringing the right diction. Of course, the coach is sitting next to her, so I think it goes to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was a nice, very nice, awesome, Kala. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, is Mika back, or is she still?
I think Mika, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, go ahead, Mika.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Go ahead. Everybody else, please go on mute, please. Done. Very nice, Mika. It's very so superb to see the young kid like you who's picking up such a, culturally, we all grew up with this Vande Mataram. Great job.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Keep it up. You keep doing in every dimension, okay? Studies, cultural, and everything. Good job. Thank you. So now I'd like to invite Lily Singh. Lily, are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me,
Okay.
Bala?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Lily, and Lily's our own, very passionate about singing, and she's going to bring in the mood of the spirit of when we have the 1950s, when we get the whole republic, the whole country was in such a patriotic feeling and things. So she's going to take us to that spirit by singing this song, which basically say, forget the past, it's a bygone era. We'll together write a new story in the new era. It's kind of applicable now too, because among the pandemic, that's how we got to look at positively. So Lily, thank you for volunteering to sing for us. Please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you for the introduction, Bala, and good evening, everyone. And I'm honored to be presenting this very iconic song on this special occasion of Republic Day of India. So here it goes. छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलके नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम
कुछ पुरानी जंजीरों को तोड़ चुके हैं, क्या देखे उस मंजिल को जो छोड़ चुके हैं। चांद के दर पर जा पहुंचा है आज जमाना, नए जगत से हम भी नाता जोड़ चुके हैं। नया खून है, नई उमंगे, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलके नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। आओ मेहनत को अपना ईमान बनाए, अपने हाथों को अपना भगवान बनाए। राम की इस धरती को, गौतम की भूमि को, सपनों से भी प्यारा हिंदुस्तान बनाए। नया खून है, नई उमंगे, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलके नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी।
एक सेकंड राजू।
हमको कितने ताजमहल है और बनाने, कितने ही अजंता हमको और सजाने। अभी पलटना है रुख कितने दरियाओं का, कितने पर्वत राहों से हैं आज हटाने। नया खून है, नई उमंगे, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। हर जर्रा मोती है, आंख उठाकर देखो, माटी में सोना है, हाथ बढ़ाकर देखो। सोने की यह गंगा है, चांदी की यमुना, चाहो तो पत्थर से धान उगा कर देखो। नया खून है, नई उमंगे, अब है नई जवानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी, हम हिंदुस्तानी। छोड़ो कल की बातें, कल की बात पुरानी, नए दौर में लिखेंगे मिलकर नई कहानी। हम हिंदुस्तानी, 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 हम हिंदुस्तानी।
Beautiful, beautiful rendition.
Oh.
Really, I think Mukesh ji sang. I think it's another beautiful rendition version, and I think
Thank
he brought the whole spirit. Now, Thank you so much for singing. I think now I'm going to take the same spirit to a little bit more powerful, like Jai Ho. So what happened was when, as I was coming into this event, you know, there was a time constraint and thing, so I basically kind of recorded the song right away, and then I'm going to play that. It's all full video. So just give me a second.
And Balaji, in the meantime, I just want to take the opportunity because I am doing multitasking and I got a lot of feedback from the viewers and they are saying once more, one more, one more. So, and for the Balaji, I know that he is a singer that he can sing the song for any age, like 1950, 2020, even 2075. I saw his spirit. So go ahead, Balaji.
Hey, Hari, can you enable the screen sharing, please?
Yes. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
That's why I said that Vala can
Thank
sing
you.
2075.
Thank you. Thanks for the compliment. I hope it came out okay. Because this is the last minute, a lot of issues will come up and I just pre-recorded it. Thank you. Okay. So it's back to you, Hari. Thanks, Kalaji, Mika, and Lily for your volunteering to sing. It's beautiful, awesome rendition. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bala. All, I think now this is the time. So I would like to quickly share and move on to our formal thank you note. So thank you so much for all the corporate sponsors. Accenture, Everest, CGI, Deloitte, Infosys, Marlab, Sun Life, and B-Link. Also, I would like to thank you, our association from Connecticut, who has helped us during the pandemic. Also, they join in this program. So thank you so much for all the support. Also, I would like to thank you, the Milan team, and Tom, Balaji, as well as Manoj for putting this together, because we started several weeks ago and did the offline competition. Also, I would like to thank you, all the participants, parents, judges, and coordinating this program. So thank you so much. And now we would like to conclude and handing over to Sharma ji, if you have. And thank you so much all. And hope everybody enjoyed. And we are looking forward to see you in person in back to Capitol building. And then we will have a Khan, Pan and Gan, because we missed the
You should add like a poetry thing, you know, next.
Now I think,
okay.
Balaji, there is no point of poetry. We are already running late, and poetry.
No, next year you should.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sharma ji, back to you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks all. Bye.
Okay, thanks everyone for joining, and we really appreciate your presence and patience also. Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, and sorry we are running bit late, but I think that I hope everybody enjoyed it, and we are looking forward next year in person. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.